Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Soulfire Tarot. My name is Steve. This is for the month of March 2025. And with that little dinging, I'd also like to just tone a little bit with this handpan drum. It's for fun. All right, so I have the tarot spread here. I also have the psychic tarot cards, which I'll do more for positive themes or themes in general. And I also have wild animal spirit oracle cards. And lastly, towards the end of the reading, I will do one of the Teal Swan Blind Spot oracle cards to help shed some light, perhaps on a shadow theme for the month of March. As well as that, I will be incorporating during the reading, probably after the general spread, a gaze and read through obsidian. I love it. All right, let's see what's coming up in the energetic theme of March for Taurus. One down here. Again, the Wheel of Fortune. I had that for Aries just before. Prince of Swords. The Seven of Swords reversed again. The Lovers. The Four of Pentacles reversed. And the Nine of Pentacles upright. So yeah, I feel like in general, it's communicating something about, there's some ideas that you might have to potentially take action on. You might have been thinking for a while that you might be finding newfound support and inspiration, although there seems to be a theme of like kind of unlocking your abundance here and living a bit more lavishly, perhaps. And in relation to the Wheel of Fortune here, this has to do with karma and kind of the creation. It's a positive sign of something coming forward, something that you might be working on, or an opportunity to seize an idea here, and that you might have to kind of go separate here with the Seven of Swords upside down, which with this imagery I generally see kind of combining of ideas and alliance with co-creators. But seeing this in the reverse, there could be perhaps a challenge or a disagreement on perhaps you're disagreeing with a certain kind of trend or an idea and are feeling more inspired, perhaps out of partnership, perhaps out of love, to really kind of tap into whatever it is that might be coming through here. You have a kind of confidence and a blazing kind of inspiration that might be in tune with your divine synchronicity, with your intuition, and that you may be guided towards whatever this Wheel of Fortune might be coming your way. But I'm also seeing the Four of Pentacles here. We see in the upright position. Ordinarily, it's this man kind of set upon his treasure in this field, kind of sitting there, but it's locked in waiting, This was in reverse. So perhaps there's some kind of concern that some of your gifts, what you have to give, have been kind of locked up, and perhaps with love, and the inspiration, motivation, and strength that comes, to face our obstacles, the monsters in life, to protect and save the sacred that our heart's desire yearns towards, could bring a kind of resplendent abundance of what we are able to truly cultivate, and a certain kind of wealth that comes from cultivating the things that we have to work and give and share in life. I'm going to draw from the Psychic Tarot card deck, see what other theme highlight might be able to come up through this. Yeah, I'm seeing the card of heartache and loss. Perhaps for some of you that is relevant, not for everybody. This could also be a sense of grief in yourself, perhaps relating to some of the gifts you have that you've wanted to bring to life, but have not necessarily brought those to full fruition. But I feel positive that you have, it is a fertile time. We have the fertility card here after this card, the one of kind of heartache and loss. I have the fertility card. Sure enough, with March here in the northern hemisphere, for those of us up here, spring is coming. And so this is a good time to kind of tend to what it is that we may have to grow and prosper and share in the abundance. Let's see what comes up for the animal spirit card here. I feel like doing 2 for you, Taurus. We have the crane, stillness theme. And also the Capricorn card, the deal. So first we have this, reflect and contemplate on the nature of the being of a crane, the stillness, carefully treading, very intentionally, very observant, prescient, patient, and wise, to find stillness, to see what is moving, towards what you can pounce on, towards what you can take and eat, to have the stillness, to find clarity. And I feel like this might be pertaining to some kind of, quite literally, a deal. Perhaps there's an opportunity where through stillness, these treasures, these gifts, perhaps somebody may come forward who has the necessary qualifications in your eyes to make a deal. Perhaps you're the one offering a deal in some sense. Yeah, interesting. A fertile time. I'm going to read more into the first spread of the tarot here. I pull some sub cards beneath that for some added clarity. First, we'll draw underneath the Lovers here. We have the Hermit, yet in reverse. So perhaps I feel like this is saying finding a balance between time together and time alone, time separate through the stillness. Perhaps you've been going it alone a while, and perhaps in relationship to love and what gives you nourishing strength and security and passion in your creation and experience of life. Perhaps you could take some more time for this and going on your own and gaining wisdom. Perhaps this is the time to bring it to the partnership and apply what you have learned in times that you've been alone. Yeah, and underneath the Seven of Swords in reverse, that card of adversity or kind of breaking away from the group mind, we also have the Four of Cups in reverse. So I feel like this is kind of telling me, perhaps a caution or a wise consideration about like how we are sharing our emotional wealth, what we have to give and share with others. This is a card in reverse, so it might be cautioning or generally suggesting something here for you, Taurus, about perhaps people that we've shared and connected with emotionally. Perhaps we're not getting what we need, in equable, good way in return. So it might be highlighting something about a change with people who we were perhaps once aligned with mentally, but may not anymore. And beneath the Prince of Swords, that high inspiration and taking action through divine guidance, some kind of inspired idea in your ability to charge forth with a decision, we have the High Priestess card here, suggesting that connecting with our intuition and finding a kind of inner harmony and balance, I feel like will help rectify to bring us into a position to seize and make good on this fertile time for the month, while also helping us integrate, perhaps grieve, and let go of what kind of losses we might have experienced coming forward into this month. And through that, let's see what's beneath the Wheel of Fortune. Is this the Sun? It is not. No, it's the Seven of Cups. So you might be having a variety of different options coming forward and taking account of what you have been dreaming of. Perhaps there is a choice in relation to your gifts that you might want to capitalize on a little bit more, and that it would be wise to actually take some time, perhaps also with the Stillness card as well as the Deal card, to really kind of visualize and see different perspectives around what is possible before making a decision with this Prince of Swords energy, and connecting and gaining clarity through stillness with the High Priestess and our intuition and our kind of inner alchemy of how we process and stage these energies. We can enhance and amplify and in some ways accelerate the movement of our growth and our reception of the experience of the universe by going within, practicing meditation, finding stillness, letting things settle, gaining clarity in the mind, gaining clarity from our spiritual guides, however we may connect through the higher power. And beneath the Four of Pentacles reversed, we have, the Four of Swords, taking refuge, taking time to kind of reconsolidate our strength, our preppedness, so this might be a card that is suggesting to take the downtime we need, especially perhaps in partnership, to nourish ourselves and really kind of recuperate, so we can reconnect with the gifts that we have and be in a more prosperous and prepared way to allow for this process of fertility to unfold heading towards the spring next month in April. And lastly, for the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, we have the Ace of Wands, this passion, this power, connecting to the abundance, and this is where I'm starting to see now this broader theme that when we find we take the time to give ourselves stillness, nourishment, finding balance in our relations, we may find more fuel for the fire, for this passionate prosperity, this light, this warmth, this radiance, right, of the fire of the spirit, that you can seize, powered by the sun, the luminary life-giving force in our world. Underneath the Nine of Pentacles, this card of abundance and lavishness, having plenty to give, but keeping some for yourself, really, not giving too much, building wealth, building legacy with your passion and whatever that might be for you, grasping that. So that's exciting. There's everybody in every sign. I feel like my readings are a balance of kind of seeing the themes of the reality. It's not all sugar coated, it's trying to give an accurate kind of picture of like, okay, what are the obstacles? What are some things that are going in our life, and how may we wisely navigate through them? All right, with that, I'm going to draw one more of the Psychic Tarot cards as kind of general overlay. Down here, fourth from the bottom. Yep, material and spiritual prosperity, Taurus, of course. You and your steadfastness, your stability. You're finding that balance in the lushness, the lavishness of life, and being open to cultivate, taking the time to cultivate. You see this luxurious garden, these fountains overlooking the sun, your kingdom. It says material and spiritual prosperity. So that seems to be kind of the overlaying theme here for the month. Next, I'll tune into the obsidian sphere here. Such a beautiful, magnanimous sort of being. Highly recommend those interested in psychism, psychic practice, to procure some obsidian and experience the magic. Yeah, so this, some words are coming to mind like trust and transfiguration. So what is transfiguration? Transfiguration, again, in the alchemical sense, has to do with kind of like getting things in the right place when it comes to these different elements. So earth, air, water, fire, aether, right? Aether is the space of which all the elements are put. But that space, our environment, informs and influences how these different elements kind of come to play in the mix, right? Yeah, I'm definitely seeing something around in this elemental sense, there's an axiom between fire and water. So water is cooling, nourishing, it can dissolve and it can absorb and receive things. It pertains to our emotions, our inner realm, the psyche, the fluidness of our being. It connects with our dreams, and the fire is the luminary, transformative element that can bring destruction, or it can also bring transformation and liberation through transcendence, right? Like to burn something, to release that light, that stored energy, that heat, to illuminate things, to bring that warmth to life. So yeah, I'm seeing that there's kind of a theme with this axis. And on the other side, there's the air and the earth, like the air pertains to the thoughts, to like the things that are kind of coming and going in the air of our mind, and the earth, how that relates and grounds into the stability of our foundations, and so yeah, something to reflect on for you. I feel like through that juxtaposition of that metaphor, there's something that's going to speak to you. Yeah, I'm seeing that there's past transgressions that might be informing the way in which your abundance has been realized through this like Wheel of Fortune theme. And I'm seeing that this is a time to kind of connect with your nobility in a way that might not necessarily bring as much heartache and loss. Yeah, so take it as you will. Let's see, I'm going to gaze a bit deeper. Yeah, there's something about joy and joyousness can bring a bounty. Enjoying what you're doing, bringing joy to life, and others enjoying the moment, even in the face of adversity or misfortune. Joy, levity, kind of sense of humor, I feel like helps kind of bring forth prosperity in the theme of fertility. Like I'm getting this vision of like, the sweet aroma, or like this, like releasing these, kind of like little spritzes of water that are going to nourish things, that'll help cool things down, and just kind of like sprinkle, the water of life to bring forth, things that are fertile, that without the right kind of nourishment, the right watering, won't necessarily, have the chance to come to life. And so, yeah, this idea of the joy and that warmth, this the kind of fountaining, I feel like will really connect with this material prosperity. So, yeah, it sounds like enjoy your month, Taurus. To kind of finish this up, I'm going to do a reading from Teal Swans, blind spot oracles here, and we'll see what one of the themes might be in that for the month here for you, Taurus. Kind of easy one. It's not as hard as some of the others, I feel. The 57. Yeah, I feel like this has something to do with transfiguration again. Based on the sigil movements here, you can see how things are moving through the central space, right? Different elements that are coming in and out, and how things essentially get transmitted, transmission of energy. So let's see what the theme of 57 is about for you. Blinding optimism. Interesting. If you have drawn the sigil, it means that you are in this situation. Your optimism is blinding you to actual reality. Optimism is associated with many positive things, such as increased success, better physical, emotional, and mental health, increased life expectancy, and better recovery from adversity. Having a positive outlook is a positive thing. It is a positive thing until you're using it to deny the negative. Perfect from that communication of joy, connecting to abundance, right? And nourishing things so they can be fertile. A positive thing, it is a positive thing until we are using it to deny the negative. This makes positivity nothing more than illusionary denial. It may benefit you to also spend some time accepting the energy of Sigil 10 and coming to understand its message just now. When our motives for being optimistic take us away from awareness, our positive distortions of personal attributes, capabilities, and estimation of the future can and usually do lead to negative outcomes. For example, optimism often gives us a flawed perception of risks, and those who underestimate risks do not take necessary action to avoid them. We may be using a whole host of coping mechanisms and mistaking them for something good because they are causing us to feel optimistic. We may be using optimism as a coping mechanism in and of itself. If we are doing this, chances are that we're using optimism to avoid the feeling of helplessness. Positive focus does do a lot of good, but there is one enormous caveat to that rule, one massive exception. Positive focus works on everything except the things you're trying to use positive focus to avoid. Another way of saying this is positive focus works except for when it is used as a tool to enable our resistance. It is a guarantee that whatever you resist will persist. The question to ask yourself in the scenario is, what would I do differently if I knew my optimism were misguided in the scenario? There are times when optimism pays off. For the subject of whatever this is connecting to for you, Taurus, this is not one of those scenarios, or this is not one of those times where optimism necessarily pays off. You are currently using optimism to avoid seeing what is real, and you are about to make choices and take actions based on something other than reality. Fascinating. I just want to roll back to see what that 10 was about that she suggested. Denial. Yeah, so I feel like that those combined themes is about being it's wisening around being cautious and conscientious, to be opening to more awareness around how we might be denying things and using positivity to try to cover or make ourselves feel comfortable with something that on some deeper, perhaps instinctual, intuitive level, we need to look at to avoid a certain outcome that probably connects to misfortune. And again, to the prior obsidian kind of draw on the theme of joy and prosperity, it might be suggesting being aware where maybe bringing in joy and optimism might not actually be appropriate in serving the scenario, where it would be more practical and beneficial to look at it in a more kind of grounded, like, okay, we need to take this serious kind of way. So yeah, thank you, Taurus. Please like and give this video an upvote if you like this video. And I'd be happy to see whatever comments you might have. If this resonated for you, if you have any other thoughts or suggestions, I would appreciate it. And once again, thanks for tuning into Soulfire Tarot. There's a little ding, a very little ding. Be well.